Hello and happy holidays from Oklahoma on Stage. We're glad you've joined us. We can be found on most platforms, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. If you have any comments or questions, we'd love to hear them. So drop us an email at oklahomaonstage@gmail.com. Or you can use the comment form on our website, oklahomaonstage.org. If you like the podcast, please share it with someone. Now, grab your favorite blanket, curl up with something warm to drink, and get ready for another great episode.
Oklahoma on stage, the stories come alive. With drama, dance, and music, the arts always thrive. From center stage to backstage lore, Oklahoma on stage, there's always something more.
Welcome back to Oklahoma on Stage. This is part 4 of our behind the scenes holiday specials. And tonight we have something very special and original right here in Oklahoma. See, Jane Austen has captivated readers for decades with her charm and elegance, beautiful, timeless stories. But what would happen if some of her characters came over to her home for a little holiday party? Step into the Regency era with this original holiday classic, Jane Austen's Christmas Cracker, presented by Oklahoma Shakespeare. Tonight, we're not just talking about theater, we're inviting you to the party. Playwright and director Erin Woods, along with some of the principal cast members of Christmas Cracker, bring us into an immersive world where audiences don't just watch the show, they become part of it. Join Jane Austen and her sister Cassandra as they host a ball in their family home in the year 1800. The theater transforms into a holiday celebration complete with festive decor and holiday treats. The story continues as characters from her novels arrive to the ball, including Pride and Prejudice's Elizabeth Bennet, Mr. Darcy, Mrs. Bennet, and Lydia Bennet, Sense and Sensibility's Eleanor Dashwood, Marianne Dashwood, Edward Ferrars, and Colonel Brandon, and Persuasion's Captain Wentworth and Aunt Elliot. These famous personalities engage with one another in new and creative scenes, revealing along the way the enchanting and treasured love stories from Miss Austen's novels. Audience members are invited to dance, sing, and play period parlor games along an atmosphere of holiday cheer and merriment. From carols and country dances to witty improv and Austen's timeless charm, this isn't your typical Christmas story. It's a festive celebration that sold out crowds, captivated families, and delighted Jane Austen fans for over a decade. So grab your seat, or better yet, join the festivities as we unwrap the magic of Jane Austen's Christmas Cracker at Oklahoma Shakespeare in the Park. Okay, we're sitting here talking with
Erin Woods. Hello.
Erin, what is your connection with the show?
I am the playwright, and for the first time ever in 2025, I am the director. The show has been performed 8 times in the Oklahoma City Metro by a couple different theater companies, and I have never directed it, so I get to direct it this time.
Well, that's pretty awesome. Well, being the playwright, I guess you're the perfect person to talk to. So tell us a little bit about this story.
Yeah. Well, this is Jane Austen's Christmas Cracker. I developed it and wrote the original version of it in 2014. And the idea was the idea came from I had just joined the Jane Austen Society of North America. And at the time, is that too much background noise? Okay. I just joined the Jane Austen Society of North America. And the people that I was meeting, they were fans of the books as I was. And they were going to all of these events throughout the country. There's one in Louisville, Kentucky. At the time, the Jane Austen Society had a yearly conference. And at every one of these events, there was a costume parade, a cosplay moment, or like maybe even a ball where you would go and dance. And I thought that was such a great thing for Jane Austen fans to be able to dress up in Regency gowns and waistcoats and outfits and boots and go and dance the period dances that you see in the Jane Austen film adaptations. And I had the idea, because my medium is theater, that we could have an interactive theater moment where you came, but you got to dance with Jane Austen's characters instead. So I had done a couple of adaptations of other Jane Austen novels. I had adapted Sense and Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice at the time. And I love the idea of Jane Austen having a party at her home, like a country party that you would come to and attend. And I subconsciously was influenced by those shows that were really big in the 1990s, like Tony and Tina's Wedding, Grandma Sylvia's Funeral. I think there's one called Flanagan's Wake or something like that, where you are attending an event and all of these things happen around you. There's a great deal of improv involved. There's singing moments and moments of dance and things like that. So I think I wanted to have that sort of idea. And so I wrote several scenes. I created Jane Austen and her sister Cassandra Austen as the hostesses of the show. And it took off like gangbusters. In 2014, we performed it in downtown Oklahoma City, and it sold out every night. People loved it. Family. I didn't know if it was like a girls' night or a great date night. I just wasn't sure exactly who the audience was for this. And it turned out it was for everybody. It was families. It was office groups looking to have a fun, office party event. It was date night. We certainly met a lot of people who were having that romantic holiday date night. And so because it was so unlike anything that people were experiencing every year at Christmas, it sort of took off from there.
Okay. So you said this has been performed now 8 times?
This is the 8th time. I wrote it in 2014, so it's now officially 11 years old, but we took some time off. I don't know if you remember a few years ago when we all had to stay inside for a little bit.
No, I don't remember.
You don't remember any of that? No?
Not recall this. So in those 8 years, you said this is your first time to direct it.
Yes.
How did it feel? Obviously, you've gone and seen it.
Yes.
So how did it feel seeing your creation on stage?
That's a great question. I've written a few shows, and if I'm really involved with the production, it just feels like I'm watching a really polished version of the rehearsal, or I'm delighted by all of the changes that different audiences bring to the experience. Because in live theater, depending on the energy of the audience, sometimes you have a completely different art piece that you're witnessing and experiencing. But as the playwright of the show, because the original version was written in 2014, and I have altered it and changed some of the storylines a few times. So I've had touches on it. I just haven't been as involved with the technical aspects of the production. And so I always experienced the show as someone almost like a typical audience member would, because I was like, okay, well, I know the storyline, and but I have no idea what. I would forget what's coming next. I'm like, what's next? Oh my gosh. So when someone faints, or there's a moment of celebration, or the love story works out, I would be surprisingly surprised. I don't know if that makes sense, but I would be excited about it.
Sure.
But yeah, so the reason I wanted to direct this show was actually for many years, because the show incorporates so many people. The characters are almost overwhelmingly in their 20s, with the exception of 2 characters, a teenage character and a character who is in their 50s. It's a good ensemble show. It has a great number of young women in it. It's kind of a perfect show for universities to do. So a lot of people have asked for a perusal script of it. the problem with that is when I sat down to sort of spruce up and make sure and polish my perusal scripts, I realized that there was a lot of the show missing from the page because so much of that had come from either the cast of an individual year, the director of an individual year. So there was a lot of improv. There was a lot of, there's so much audience interaction. So I wanted to write down how all of that worked. And at first I went to some cast members who have been with the show for a little bit and asked them some questions. But what I realized was that they were having a hard time. They knew it. They knew what I was asking. Like, how does it work when we play forfeits? We bring up an audience member, and how do we engineer that? And they knew it from their experience, but they didn't know how to explain it. And I was like, okay, well, we have to be able to write this down. It can't just be, I used to have a job in events where we would call things tribal knowledge, where no one explained it to anybody, but just you had to have certain people on your event set up to get certain things set up. So it was like, I have to be able to pass this on. This can't just be us knowing. Is it too much noise?
Oh, no, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
I keep asking about it.
They're having fun. It's
I know.
all good.
Well, I love that they're having fun. I just didn't know for the podcast.
So when you wrote this, did you originally write it as an immersive, interactive thing?
Yes. Yeah. That was the intent from the beginning.
Okay.
Was that everybody would be attending a party at Jane Austen's house for Christmas. And her birthday. Her birthday is actually December 16th. So there's a lot of references to that. And this year for 2025, and this was not planned by me, it's Jane Austen's 250th birthday, December 16th of 2025.
Well,
yes.
yeah.
So I'm excited.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to be a part of that.
Awesome.
So it's part of my celebration.
So how is it different? As you said, you've written it, but you go and watch it and you almost feel like just another audience member.
Yeah.
How is it different now sitting in that directorial role?
It's different because usually when I direct a show, I have a plan. I have a team that I'm working with, a design team, a stage management team, a technical team. And so I feel like there's a lot of outside of rehearsal, we plan things and then we bring it to the cast. And obviously a cast, in any rehearsal process, a cast is contributing to the outcome. I'm not just making a decision. They're not puppets. They are artists themselves. And so we all make decisions together. But I feel like when I direct a show, I have a plan coming in. I have a blocking outline. I have an idea of character. I have, if it's a Shakespearean play, I have a cutting that I've specifically created myself for the show. So there's a lot of me coming to the table with all of the information, and we develop it, we rehearse it, and then we go, right? With this show, I've had to go, how in the past years have we done X, Y, and Z? How did this happen? This happens we have interaction during intermission. We have interaction during pre-show. We have interaction after the show. I mean, you are there as a guest of the party just as much as Elizabeth Bennet or Mr. Darcy. So I've had to ask cast members and past directors, how did we do this in the past? And that to me is just a different experience as a director, to be like, I'm learning what this play is about, what we've done with the history of this play as well.
Well, that's nice.
So that's been a different thing to bring to it as a director.
Okay, that's cool. So, okay, so so you're able in this aspect to put your own spin. I mean, though you wrote it, you're seeing other directors put their spin on it. Mm-hmm. So now you're able to actually put is it your original spin that you're putting on the show, or has it changed?
Good question.
Or has it changed over?
I have to be honest, because I work so much in classical theater and you direct Shakespeare and people are like, what's your spin on this? Because Shakespeare's been done so often, we're often, more often than not, we're not in pumpkin pants. We're not in Elizabethan dress. We're not trying to emulate a production that Shakespeare actually, was a part of originally. We're literally, placing it in the 1870s, or it's set at a women's prison. You know what I mean? Like all the stuff that you do with these stories that we know so well that we can now take a different view of it. with this show, it's not necessarily a spin, I would say. I think the show itself is a spin. The show itself is a spin on a Christmas show. The show itself is a spin on an immersive Regency experience. And the show itself is also just a love letter for Jane Austen fans.
So for those people that don't know anything about this story,
Yes.
can you, without any spoilers, if there is, can you kind of fill people in on what they will get when they come here?
When they come to Oklahoma Shakespeare in the Park, it's, first of all, for a lot of people, they have, especially in Oklahoma City, non-theater people specifically, they are very familiar with Shakespeare in the Park from years past. This company has a 41-year history. It's been in several different locations. A lot of people remember the olden days in Hafer Park in Edmond, where everything was outdoors. Some people remember the odd winter show that they would do at Stage Center, if you remember that building in downtown Oklahoma City. As people have memories of going to the Myriad Gardens water stage and seeing the outdoor shows there presented by Oklahoma Shakespeare in the Park. So here at Oklahoma Shakespeare, they have two stages that have been built. They were built back in 2021. An indoor theater that's been that was renovated, that went through a deep renovation in 2021, and a new outdoor amphitheater and they're both here in the Paseo. So I do want to clarify for those of us not as familiar with Oklahoma Shakespeare in the Park that it's all in one location, and the show is in our indoor theater, which is a 56 seat thrust, elongated thrust stage. And when you arrive at the theater, you will be greeted at the box office by our box office manager. You'll pick up your tickets, and you will at that point be also greeted by one of our actors, probably Jane Austen or Cassandra Austen, who are our hostesses. They will welcome you to the space. There is a full bar here. We have the Mermaid Tavern, which is our lobby bar, but there'll also be complimentary food that's been donated by Brahms Ice Cream and Dairy. They are a sponsor every year and have been since the first year. I'm so
Very
excited
nice.
that Brahms is here, and you will have an array of holiday pastries to choose from. We have a deep freeze with Brahms ice cream favorites like nutty cones and ice cream sandwiches and things like that. And there is also an array of holiday beverages, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, available for you at the bar. And so you will get a lyric sheet. You will be maybe invited into a conversation, if you're so inclined, with one of our terrific characters, either a Jane Austen character or Jane Austen and her sister. And then you'll go and you'll find your seat at the theater, and you'll be Jane Austen and Cassandra will introduce you to the evening, to the festivities, to what you can expect. There'll be scenes for you to watch as an audience member, and there's the opportunity to become as involved with the show as you want. Several people choose to just sort of watch it traditionally, like you would watch any show, from the audience, sitting there reacting from your seat. And some people choose to sing every carol. You're invited to sing along with our carols. You're invited to dance on stage with our actors. And some people take advantage. It goes from one end of the spectrum to the not. So I always try to caution people. Some people, the idea of immersive theater or interactive theater is very daunting to them. It's very scary. This is what you make of it. No one's going to drag you anywhere. No one's going to engage with you. And in fact, if you don't want to talk to anybody, our actors sense that, and we'll back off even. So it's not. It's very. I always compare it to, if anyone is familiar with going to a Disney park and interacting with any of the Disney characters, the princesses, or Mickey Mouse. It's sort of that. You can be as involved as you want to be. You can go up and say hi. You can take a step back. It's really what you want to make of it. We were really, my husband and I and my daughter, it was our 20th wedding anniversary, and our daughter was 5, so we wanted to go to Disney World, and we did it up right. We did like the dinner at Cinderella's castle, and like I think it was like a brunch with Snow White, and all of these princesses and characters came to our table and interacted with us. And it was, you could get as involved with that as you wanted to. And we really were like, oh, yes, this is like Jane Austen's Christmas cracker. So I was inspired by that level. And some people are so excited and want to dance every dance, talk endlessly, play every parlor game. Some people just want to sit back and enjoy the ride. And it's a bit more casual than other shows. I even say, like, you're welcome at any time to leave your seat, go in the lobby, grab a pastry, go to the bar. There's no, like, you're not locked into your theater seat until the lights come up for intermission. It's a party.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a come and go. It's very fun. It's a very casual, fun experience.
Definitely not like any of the other Christmas shows that people are used to seeing. So, from the writer and the director's point of view, what does this show mean to you?
This show it's been described by my husband. I'm going to steal his words because he's directed it the most. I think he's directed it 3 times. It's a Christmas bonbon. It is an exquisite treat. The Regency era in English history and in Western history was a time before Dickens. Before A Christmas Carol, which is really when Christmas became what we recognize as Christmas today in the Western world. So there's no ghost story. There's no story of redemption. This was a time in history where Christmas was kind of just like another holiday. It wasn't a time where like families necessarily traveled from near and far, although some did. And I would describe it more like New Year's Eve. That's more the modern equivalent of what the Regency era Christmas celebration looked like. So this is a bunch of people getting together for what would seem more like a casual, fun Christmas Eve party, full of games, full of frivolity, full of dance. So it's basically a really, really fun party, and it's not full of life lessons. If maybe.
Right. Yeah. That was kind of my next question. Is that so many Christmas stories have been brought about or adapted or whatever to convey or get across some big theme, or so, as you said, some redemption story.
It's redemption. I mean, it's. I think Dickens changed it all, and we're doing it before it got changed. So it's just really a very fun house party is what you're attending to.
Good Christmas.
And I think that's a great idea because I think people forget about that. They think of a lot of in modern times, Christmas is thought of culturally as like this very important family time or this very important time to, reflect on who you are as a person, and it feels a bit heavy sometimes, and this is all lightness. So we wanted to bring the lightness of the Regency era holiday to modern people and say, hey, just have a good time.
Very nice. Very nice. Erin, thank you very much for doing this, for being a part of this. We really appreciate it. And thank you for telling this story. We appreciate it. Best of luck to you in your run with Christmas Cracker. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you so much, Tim.
Hi, I am Cecilia Alali.
And what is your connection with the show?
I am playing Miss Cassandra Austen in Jane Austen's Christmas Cracker.
So you are Jane Austen's daughter?
Jane Austen's sister.
Sister, okay.
Mm-hmm. Older sister.
Okay. So how long have you been a part of this production?
So we started rehearsals, towards the end of, not November. Yeah, November, actually. Oh my goodness. We're like in our second week or so. It feels like it's been longer because we've done so much good work. But goodness, this is only our second Saturday working on this.
Has this been your first time to play a role in this show?
Yes, this is my first time in Jane Austen's Christmas Cracker and my first OK Shakes production.
Okay. So what brought you to be a part of this show?
So, In college, I was really, really, really kind of on the fence about pursuing acting, actually. I was very scared to, like, actually try to pursue it full time. And I had done Henry V at my college, and I played the chorus. We set it in a classroom, so I was a bit more involved, and I was actually the teacher teaching the kids how important classical text is, and we did it through the medium of Henry V. It was awesome. And I fell in love with classical productions after that point. So when I came back home, I was like, I have to find some kind of classical theater here, and Oklahoma Shakespeare is the best and is my favorite. I love the productions they put on here. I love the care that they put into everything they do. So I was like, sign me up on that auditions list, And so when I saw the auditions for this, I was the first person to sign up like 5 minutes after it dropped.
Nice, nice. So you said this is your first time here at Oklahoma Shakespeare.
Yep.
What is it like being at Oklahoma Shakespeare, but actually not performing in a Shakespearean play?
Yes, it's really, really, really interesting because Shakespeare is one of those things that you really do have to sit down with it unless you're like a master in it, right? You got to sit down with it, marinate with it, really try to understand what's going on here. What are the underlying things that are there that like aren't, said out loud or said it in our time, right? What's really going on here? But with this heightened text that isn't written in iambic pentameter and written in 1600s English, it's a bit easier to like latch onto what it's meaning and what it's trying to say. And it's a little bit more fun because you've got this special language that you get to do with an accent, and it's really cool and everything. So I've had a lot of fun doing this heightened text, even though it's not Shakespearean. It's like Shakespearean.
So you said you get into the classical theater.
Yeah.
Have you ever been involved with a production like this?
Goodness me. No, I haven't been. Not like this. Not to the extent of the improv that there is, of the audience involvement that there is. The only thing I can compare to it is I was a competitor in speech and debate. More so speech. Yeah. Debate people, sorry. I only dabbled in that for a semester, but speech is my main thing. And so with certain pieces, like if you got a cool duo, which is just two people doing a 10-minute selection of a script, maybe you could do some audience interaction there and have them like, ha ha ha, let's do something funny, but never in a full-length hour-and-a-half play with an ensemble of people. So this has been really, really fun.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, back in my day, we called them duets.
Duets, yes.
Yeah, I'm very old school, so yeah. But I was very involved in speech and debate as well. So, okay. So playing a role like this, you talked about the improv and all this. Do you have experience with improv?
I explained to our improv master, Amanda, that I don't have any official improv experience, but being in speech is kind of always improv. If you don't have your script completely memorized, it turns into an improv itself. What? Who wouldn't memorize a piece? No. So I've had like really limited experience with it, but it's all about whimsy, and it's all about, I don't know, have fun with it, loosen up your brain, use the left side of it, and just do something compelling, because anything can be compelling if you're convinced that it is. So I don't have official experience with it, but this, hey, I can say I feel like an experienced improver now.
So what drew you to this character?
I love Cassandra. So Cassandra Austen is, she, of course, is Jane Austen's older sister. And she didn't get the recognition that Jane does, but she was also an author. And she also loved literature and loved the characters that Jane created and everything. So I'm just drawn to the idea of her also being the older sister, the eldest sister, and being the Miss Austen and the lady of the house when mom's not there. I love that she has this sense of duty about her. Innately, just because she has to control the house whenever her mom's not there, and her mom's sick a lot, right? But she has this sense of duty, but also this sense of play that Jane gets to have freely, right? Because she's not the eldest, right? Cassandra gets to play between the both of them, and it speaks to me so much. I'm an eldest sister, and I have to do things for my household, and it's got to be like this. And come on, little brothers, don't make a fool of yourselves and all, right? But I still play, and I still love to play, and that's why I do theater. It's all play, and so I see myself a lot in Cassandra, and I just love that about her. I'm really drawn to the idea of her just, goodness, playing, but in the context of being someone that is married to her duty.
Very nice. So how do you look to connect with the audience when they come into this?
Yeah. So, like I'm saying, Cassandra is the lady of the house when her mom, slight spoiler, when her mom is sick. So she's really excited to bring people in. I love that because she has that duty, she's like, oh, well, I guess I can now talk to all these people, and I can be the one that controls what beautiful drapings go up, and what kind of refreshments are we going to have and everything. So she gets to interact with the audience and get their feedback on everything, like, how do you feel about this? Ooh, is it really good? Am I doing a good job for my first huge party? And so outside of the pre and intermission time, she gets to kind of play with the audience and ask them, hey, how are you feeling about all this? And during the show, she's kind of always checking in with everyone and being like, you good? All right. Are we still having a great time? Do you see what's going on between these two? Because at heart, she's a matchmaker. Oh. And so she just loves to play with everyone. And it's amazing because now she gets her big break in this huge, this huge party that she's throwing to kind of like show that for the first time.
Very nice. So what do you think, or do you hope that people take away from this when they leave?
So something that Amanda had told us when she came in was like, this might be some people's only time to really get into the holiday spirit or be around a group of people that are singing carols together or dancing together for the holiday season, because it can be a really polarizing time. Like, some people love the holidays. Me, like, I love Christmas time. It's awesome. And some people are like, I have really bad memories attached to this time, and I don't want to celebrate this. And this show brings everyone in, regardless of anything, because it's not your typical Christmas carol. It's not your typical White Christmas. It is a show where we want you to come as you are and just engage with us and have a huge, just a community-based celebration of the year we've had. Because, I mean, in this time, Christmas wasn't even that huge of a deal. It's New Year's that we were really focused on, And so to look back on the year and invite your friends and come and have fun with us as we close out this year, it means a lot that people that don't get that usually are going to come here, watch that, and experience that with us as actors and with us as characters. It's just twofold, a really beautiful thing, and a thing that only theater can really give you, especially during this period of time.
So has this show impacted you in a specific way during this holiday season?
Yes. I am, I'm Christmas lover number one. I love Christmas, but it's also been so much fun to do a theater show in this period of time. I've never done a Christmas show. I've always just kind of, done things all around the year. And, lately with everything going on in the world, it's hard to celebrate. Gee, what could be going on in the but it's hard to want to like really, really have fun and really, really celebrate, because there's just always a looming thing over your head. But this show literally transposes you to a different time in a different mind space. These people are excited about New Year's and like not even thinking about the state of the world that we have right now, right? Like Cassandra says the the year 2026, and it's like a really fun thing because she's like, what, 2026, what are we talking about right now? And I'm just like, whoa, these people are completely in a different time and thinking about completely different things, and it's so positive that I get to step into it as Cassandra and enjoy it with her, and I love that.
That's awesome. I love your energy about this and your
Yeah.
passion. I could see the character and all of it just coming out of you. And I think that's great. Thank you very much for your time and for telling us about your character and your journey through all of this.
Yeah.
We very much appreciate it. And Merry Christmas.
Thank you. You too, Tim.
Emma Cox.
And Emma, what connection do you have to the show?
I play Miss Jane Austen, and this is my first show with Oklahoma Shakespeare. I recently just moved to Oklahoma, so this is the first piece of theater that I'm doing in Oklahoma.
So where'd you come from?
I'm originally from Kansas.
Well,
but
you're not in Kansas anymore.
I'm not in Kansas anymore.
I'm sure you've never heard that.
I like it though. I mean, I romanticize Kansas and the Great Plains and Dorothy and all that, so I love it.
So what is your theater background up there in Kansas?
So I started doing theater in high school, and then I continued through community college. I got just my gen eds out of the way with an associate's degree, and then I started auditioning for BFA programs and found a classical acting BFA track at Southern Utah University, which is in Cedar City, Utah.
Wow.
And auditioned and got accepted, and so I moved out to Utah, and I've been out there for the past 2.5 years now. The Utah Shakespeare Festival is also in Cedar City, and so I spent this past summer working with them, and that was a blast, and now I'm here. And
So what brought you to Oklahoma?
I have an identical twin sister, and she is starting her PhD program. She studies environmental history, and she just started that at Oklahoma University. And so we're so close with each other and we've been so far apart, me being in Utah and her being back in Kansas, that I was like, I'll move down there with you and we can just have a good time and figure out what Oklahoma's about. And so, yeah.
So through your studies and everything, your focus is on classical theater.
Yes.
What draws you to classical theater?
There's something about the language and the way it's written, and when I talk about classical theater, I mostly Shakespeare, but it also includes other heightened text, like Moliere and stuff like that. But there's something about, and Shakespeare specifically is what I think of when he's writing in verse, the rhythm and the language that he's using and the images that he's painting, and iambic pentameter is kind of like a human heartbeat, and so there's this kind of innate, I don't know what the right word would be, but for me it's something that as an actor gives me more than if I were just speaking contemporary text. It's easier to memorize first, but that's beside the point.
You're one of those first people I've ever heard say that, but
Verse is easier to memorize.
yeah.
I guess I know there's going to be those 10 syllables, and if sometimes, right, it's 11 or 12 or whatever it is, or 9. But if it goes off, I just know, and I know I missed a word or I switched something up. But yeah, it's the beauty and the artistry of the language that drew me to it, and I am just so fascinated by all of the different ways that you can use it. That you can use what's in the text and what's on the page to make so many character choices, and it's just a rabbit hole. Once you dive in, it's like you can't find your way back out.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I mean, you've come to Oklahoma at a really good time. I've noticed, especially over the last year, this resurgence of classical theater. We've seen Moliere come about, Chekhov come about, Shakespeare, of course, and not just here at Oklahoma Shakespeare. A lot of companies are doing Shakespeare and all those others. And so great time to be in Oklahoma. A lot of opportunities for you. So you come to Oklahoma, and how did you find out about Jane Austen's Christmas Cracker?
I immediately started looking for if Oklahoma had a Shakespeare theater or like a Shakespeare in the Park, and I found Oklahoma Shakespeare and immediately went to their website and was looking at their season and what they've done in the past, and ended up finding that they were holding auditions for Jane Austen's Christmas Cracker. And I see so many Christmas carols and the live radio play,
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. Yes, there's so many, those are fantastic and they're classic, and they're part of people's family traditions, of course. But I am a huge Jane Austen fan, and this was something different. I had never heard of it before, and so I really wanted to audition, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. And I think it's going to be so much fun. I cannot wait for people to come see the show.
So what is it like for you to play such an iconic role as Jane Austen?
Yeah. I think there's, with her characters, they are in her books. You can read her books. You can read the play adaptations of her books. You can watch the movies. And so you can kind of get an idea of who her characters are. But as far as playing the person that wrote them, is slightly intimidating. But I also, through the rehearsal process, I've kind of found that Jane Austen is, like any artist, is a lover of life. And I think she's just as happy sitting outside and watching the snowfall as she is dancing in a crowded ballroom and talking with her friends. And so I think it's been interesting to play someone who was a real life person and is now so famous, and you kind of bring your own personality and your own insights to her. And what I think is so interesting about this play is that coming into it, I was curious about what Jane's relationship with everyone is, if they're just her friends, or if she's kind of writing their stories in real time, or if she's just getting inspiration from them and then she writes her books later. And I think it's kind of both. I think she is enjoying a Christmas ball with her friends and then is getting inspiration from watching them and begins to write their stories. And I think that's a really interesting perspective to dive into, is how did this iconic writer, where did she get her inspiration from? How did she come up with these characters and their stories? And through this play, for me playing her, I kind of answer that question a little bit, for myself at least, is like, where's she getting her inspiration, and who is she writing about and why? And so I kind of answer that. I think that's the big question that you could ask about any author. Shakespeare, where did he come up with this? And so when you actually get to play those historical characters, you kind of answer that. There's no telling if it's right or wrong, but it's your own.
It's an interpretation. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So, and I had a question and it just left me, but so knowing all, are you a Jane Austen fan?
I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so knowing that, is there anything about, whether it be in the books or playing this role, that you find that you connect with Jane?
Meaning how I connect with her as a person, or her work?
Yeah. Well, either. I mean,
Yeah.
both. Yes.
I think I connect with Jane in that she observes everyone and everything that is happening around her, and she takes it in, and the smallest interactions or whatever is happening in her world around her, she's appreciating it. And I think I really admire her just attention to life. I think now in the world that we live in 2025, it's so easy to get sucked into everything that's happening in our world. And we've got, we carry around phones and computers and laptops all the time. So you're always plugged in. And for me, not only with reading Jane Austen's books, but also playing her, it's like you can just unplug for a second and completely fall into a different world and just enjoy the small things, like playing a game at a Christmas ball or dancing a country dance, and enjoying those small moments with people completely outside of anything else that's happening in just everywhere.
Yeah, it's good to take a break from the reality for a while. So, knowing the way this show is set up, it's immersive, it's interactive. Have you ever done a production like this before?
I have not where you're pulling audience members onto the stage and you're involving them in games and dances. Doing Shakespeare, I feel like you kind of break the fourth wall all the time, and so that is kind of familiar to me. At Southern Utah University, I did a production of Roe by Lisa Loomer, and I played Sarah Weddington. And in that show, we kind of made a choice to have Sarah tell this story, breaking the fourth wall all the time. So she's constantly in the story of the play, but then she's able to check out and check in with audience members or have these direct address moments. And so I keep thinking about that experience in relation to this, and that at any time, any one of our characters can break over and look at an audience member and share a moment with them or say a few lines to them, and just kind of include the audience in the world of the play, which I think is so fun.
Do you have any experience with the improv aspect?
I have done improv before, but I've never had to do a lot of it in a show, and I've never this will be my first time improving with audience members as a character and staying in that character the whole night. I've never done that before.
So you get to interact with a world as someone else.
Yes.
And to me, it just sounds like a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
So with this show, this character, this story, what do you hope that people take away from this?
I hope that people leave the show with just a sense of appreciation for friends and family and loved ones and being together with each other. I think the holiday season tends to do that. We tend to start coming closer to the people around us and appreciating them and the life that we have. And I hope that people come and see our show and have a great time and have a blast dancing and singing. But I also hope they leave just really appreciating the people that are around them.
Great. Well, thank you for doing this. I appreciate your time. Welcome to Oklahoma.
Thank you.
And best of luck in the show, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you too.
Zanine Fletcher Hall.
Zanine Fletcher Hall. I believe I know your husband.
You do.
Well, welcome. And what is your connection to the show?
So I play Mrs. Bennet in Jane Austen's Christmas Cracker.
Okay. And what drew you to this show?
Well, first of all, it's a great show, phenomenal show. I really do enjoy interactive theatre. So when the auditions came for this show, many years ago, because I've been in it for 6 years now, then I really wanted to do it. And I was very lucky to be chosen as Mrs. Bennet.
I did hear before we did our interviews and stuff that you are the longest running actress for the show. So, why was it so important to you to keep coming back?
Oh, Mrs. Bennet is a dream to play. Her daughters are the best daughters to have. There are only 2 of my daughters in the show. But Mrs. Bennet is such a wonderful character. She is nosy, bossy, but super friendly, super... she wants to be there. She wants to see everything, to enjoy everything. So she's just a dream character to play.
Very nice, very nice. So I guess I'll kind of throw out the same question that I threw out to your husband when I talked to him. What drew you to Oklahoma?
That's a long answer. Sit comfortably. So my husband was already living in Oklahoma. We weren't married at the time, but he's from England. I'm from England, in case you hadn't guessed. And we used to date in England. We used to both be in the same theatre company. And we dated then, and we were very, very young. Life took us in separate directions. And when we finally reconnected through Facebook, of all things, David was in a show. And he was still very cute. So I said, I'd love to come and see the show. And he told me that he was in America. So I presumed that he'd made it big. So I quickly said, New York, California, LA, where are you? And he said, Oklahoma. And my second question was, where's that? So anyway, I came across and I watched every performance of that show and fell in love with Oklahoma and the people. People are so friendly here. It did take me a minute to lose my British head and become Oklahoman. But now, yes, I love it. I'm always reminded when we go home to be more British. So
how long have you guys lived in Oklahoma?
I've been here for 12 years, and David has been here for 26.
Very nice, very nice.
A
So,
long time.
so in that time, like I said, 6 years. You said you've been a part of this show.
Yes.
Okay. So were you familiar with? Obviously, you're familiar with Jane Austen's work.
Of course, yes.
Were you familiar once you began acting in Oklahoma theater? Were you familiar with the writing of this script?
I had heard about it before I joined the show. I'd heard about it because a good friend of mine played Mrs. Bennet before I did. So I'd heard about it, I'd seen it, and it was just a great concept for a show, where the audience could participate with the actors. Whoa, so yes, and that just made me want to be more a part of it.
Had you had experience with the sirens going off? Did you have more experience with the audience interaction type theater?
In England, no. Over here in America is my very first time to be having interactions with the audience, and there's a few theatres here that do it now, not just this one.
Right.
So I do try and single out those shows.
Oh, good. So you've drawn to it.
Absolutely, it is my favourite type of theatre.
And what draws you to that type of show?
Never knowing what the audience member's going to ask you or say or do. So it keeps you really on your toes. Yes, you still have to learn your lines. Yes, you have to know where you're going and what's coming next. But then throwing in an element of, hey, it could be chaos, it could be fun. It really is. It adds that extra level of excitement to it.
Had you had any experience with improv before doing a show like this?
I did my very first Jane Austen, and then I got the buzz for it, and then went and did more improv in other areas and other shows. So yeah.
So you had a little experience coming into this.
A little, but not a lot. Now it's sort of like, give me more.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you experience when you're in a show, when you're in this show, and you have those audience members that are really connected to the show, really into it, and as Erin said, you have certain people that just want to come and just watch, but then you have others that are just they're they're sucking the marrow out of life, as they would say, but they're really involved with the singing and they want to get involved with the dance. What do you get out of that?
There's an extra level of fun that's sort of like when you get people. We have the Jane Austen Society turn up, and they know the ins and outs of all the novels and the characters, so you really have to know your stuff, because they're going to come at you with some very... they need the answers to those questions. But I've had people come towards me and just ask me simple questions like, what are the roses in the gardens? What have I planted this year? And you need to know those kind of answers too. We do have people that just are unsure and maybe don't know how to answer. A little flirtatious banter with them always helps and gets people at ease.
Very nice. So in all of this, again, this being a very different kind of Christmas show, it's not your typical Christmas Carol, White Christmas, It's a Wonderful Life. As Erin said, there's not that typical story of redemption or anything like that.
That's true.
What do you hope that people will take away from not only your performance, but the story in general?
Family coming together, the love of Christmas, going back to basics, just enjoying each other's company, spending time with each other, singing Christmas carols, just the frivolity of it all.
Very nice. Zanine, thank you for doing this. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the show and enjoying it. So, are you guys planning on going home for Christmas?
No, because we're in shows.
Right.
So Christmas is not a good time for us to head home. But we will head home early next year.
Well, good. If nothing else, Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Tim. Merry Christmas to you.
So there you have it from Jane Austen's Christmas Cracker, currently running December 4th through the 21st at Oklahoma Shakespeare's Paseo Indoor Theater. You can get more information about the show at www.okshakes.org or calling them at 405-235-3700. You can also reach them at info@okshakes.org. That's info@okshakes.org. We want to thank you guys for spending a little time with us here again as we wrap up our behind-the-scenes holiday series. It's been a lot of fun. I've met a lot of people and really kind of shared in the Christmas spirit all over this state. So we thank you again for spending just a little bit of time from your busy hustle and bustle to spend it with us. So please, from all of us at Oklahoma On Stage and our families to yours, we wish you a very, very Merry Christmas. And no matter what you do, continue to support the arts.
Oklahoma On Stage.